Like the Rebel Yell, we're back with a brand new episode of Let's Not Do This podcast. It only took, 3 seconds for me to say something offensive? Sitting alongside 2 of the 3 unwise men. You got me, the Big O, Leon Oliver. Sitting to my left, mostly my far left, one Scotti Too Hottie in his latest installment from the Zelensky apparel line. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Want a bunch of money Sunday on the NFL?
Oh, yeah? Would you like to tell the IRS about it?
I don't think either one of my bets hit $600, so I think that's the limit. If you win $600 on a bet, they'll come after you.
Well, we have 87,000 new agents in their arms, so they may be coming for your house. You know what? You need to link up with our Branch Davidian friends from the bar. Waco 2, Electric Boogaloo, right at your house.
I don't think they bet on sports, but they probably don't know how that code works. I don't know.
Can you be religious and bet on sports?
I mean, I'm not even going into that because religious people do a lot of things that religious people don't do, supposedly. So
yeah, we're just gonna leave that one there. Amanda was around when religion was first invented. When Ryan Dickerson, how are you, sir?
What's going on, man?
Were you up on what was it, Mount Sinai with the tablets and the Moses and the floods and all that stuff?
Nah, I don't like climbing and hiking, so I won't up there.
Well, I surely would be ravished if there was a apocalypse right now. Much like our suspended friend, I think he may be burning in the fires of hell as we speak, maybe. But hey,
maybe
someone that is going through hell right now would be one Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think there's enough ayahuasca in the world to fix what's wrong with him. New York Jets yesterday, Monday Night Football. Could you not have picked a better scene? By the way. New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Aaron Rodgers comes running out. He's carrying the American flag. It's a sold-out crowd. I mean, what more could you ask for on 9/11 to have that team? Everyone's wearing NYPD, New York Fire Department hats and everything. And then 4 plays into his Jets tenure, the worst possible outcome. He goes down with a Achilles injury. Ryan, I'll start with you. Your initial reaction when you saw Mr. Rodgers go down?
Well, I mean, it was almost too much hype for it to go right. Like, I felt like something was going to go wrong. Either my thought was he was going to have a really bad game. Like, he was just going to be terrible out there just because of all the hype. Again, a new team, new receivers. But I initially thought he had just twisted his ankle. Then I look at the replay, and it looked like he didn't really twist anything. So I didn't understand what he was doing. I thought it was maybe some ayahuasca, Jedi mind trick that he was doing with the Bills or something. I didn't know what was going on. And then, when I saw him kind of hobbling off into the cart and everything, I figured it was something worse. But I mean, that generally sucks for the Jets fans. I mean, they're perpetually jinxed. Like, there's always something going on with that franchise. So,
Scotty, before I go to you, Jets had that one Super Bowl win. What was it, 1969, Super Bowl III, Joe Willie Namath, the guarantee. I was listening to the Ovius and Giglio podcast today, and Joe Giglio brought up a good point. What deal with the devil did Broadway Joe make? Because the Jets have just been perpetually cursed ever since then. And the last time you really thought a Jets team could potentially go to the Super Bowl and win, Vinny Testaverde, I believe, suffered a season-ending injury, Then you have Sanchez and a butt fumble. Since then, they've been in the AFC Championship game once? I want to say since 69.
Maybe with Mark Sanchez.
That may have gone twice with him.
Maybe twice. Okay, but still, since 69, it's ineptitude. It's like what can go wrong will go wrong for that perpetually snake-bitten team. Scotty, I'm sure you had some bets on this yesterday. What were your thoughts when you saw Aaron go down?
Well, I had a couple small touchdown bets, but I actually had the under, so it kind of worked out for me. But, just all the hype from the offseason, and if you watched Hard Knocks, it did seem like Aaron Rodgers was, getting along with everybody and saying the right things. And, yeah, I liken this to, imagine your favorite TV show of all time. Now, imagine that show ended after one episode. Got canceled. That's what this feels like. Jets fans finally had hope. I can kind of empathize with them being a Commanders fan. It's like you never have any hope, and they finally got some. And then, this happens, like you said, 4 plays in. It just sucks. But I guess the one good thing for the ladies down at JJ's, Zach Wilson's their quarterback now.
Yes, yeah. Very true. He
the MILF hunter.
That dude looks like, literally, I really never paid attention to what the hell Zach Wilson looked like, but he looks like he's like a 16-year-old boy. Like, does he not look like he's just like, dude, you shouldn't even be playing like NFL football. You look too young. Like, you wouldn't be letting us JJs or.
Yeah, he does look very young. So does his mom, though.
Well, and boink, this guy's all steamed up from Zach Wilson's mom. Zach Wilson reminds me of like a whitewashed Jim McMahon, and maybe because they both went to BYU. It's like he wants to be a bad boy like Jim McMahon, but he's not quite there yet. And also wearing that like Karate Kid headband, whatever that he's got going on.
So that's what it is.
So he mentioned that in a Hard Knocks because Aaron Rodgers was like, "You're still wearing that thing?" He was like, "It's not for looks. Like I just sweat so much." Like, yeah, sure, dude. I don't know.
He sweats so much.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like, does it have to be that long though? Like,
Give him a do-rag. I want to see Zach Wilson with a do-rag. That's what I want to see. Yeah. And you mentioned the the older women over at JJ's who would take a liking to him. Megan making money from Barstool Sports shared on her Instagram story as the shakedown the Thunder. Notre Dame didn't score enough points against NC State Saturday. We got some Thunder going on here now.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. And either that or the apocalypse is upon us for the religious jokes that I've made earlier. Yeah. So I'm sure I'll be burning in the hellfires along with our suspended friend.
I think the Mount Sinai one kind of took us over the top.
Yeah, there was a burning bush or something like that. I'm not sure what happened. Tell your priest. He'll tell you all about it. But no, so Megan making money from Barcelona shared a tweet from like last year, and something along the lines of, "Hey Zach, I'm a mom with 2 kids, and I like football or something too." I think she was shooting her shot, even though she's married. Yeah, I can't hate on her. I can't hate on her for it. She's trying to get that payday. She's moving to Chicago. It's not cheap there.
Is that money going to be there for a long time though?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
What else is he going to spend his money on?
He's not getting another big money contract. That's for sure.
He'll bounce around. I mean, the Jets are apparently kicking the tires on bringing in a veteran quarterback now, but who's out there? They don't have the capital to trade for a Jacoby Brissett, really.
That's probably more for a backup, I would think.
Tim Boyle is on the roster, practice squad. He was Aaron's longtime backup in Green Bay.
I heard a trade, well, not a trade rumor, but just somebody online saying, why don't they trade Tyler Huntley from Baltimore for Dalvin Cook, since Brees Hall looks so good?
No, I don't know. Is he that much better than Zach Wilson?
Who, Huntley?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying as a backup. I mean, he's a better insurance policy than Tim Boyle or whoever the hell they got as their backup right now.
Maybe. I think maybe more likely to be like Michael Carter and a draft pick or something if they wanted to go that route. I don't see them trading Dalvin Cook so soon.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm the Jets, I think I just ride with Zach. I see what he has. I mean, we know I feel like they know what he has, but he's had an off season now under Aaron to kind of learn and training camp with everything. Maybe he's picked up on some habits, and obviously Aaron's going to be rehabbing and doing his own thing. But I'd imagine, hey, he's a text or a phone call away, or maybe a lot of guys are away from the building when they're hurt. Maybe he does come to the building. Maybe he does, help them out. We'll see how much he's learned in that time period. But I figured this is you can really see what you have and then make the case to move on if you need to. And that team's young enough where you don't want to say waste a year, but if things don't go well this year, you get a decent pick, maybe, And I guess it worked out for them, too, not having to give a first-round pick to Green Bay. Now we know that Aaron's out for the year. That's going to be a second-round pick that's going to be going to Green Bay.
Do you call Tom Brady for the Jets?
That would be the biggest heel move of all time, especially after that, like, I'm a Patriot for life, like, speech and all that stuff he gave.
I'm here for it. That would make me a Tom Brady fan.
By God, that's Tom Brady's music. Get Jim Ross out there announcing that. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with the Jets. It's been a bad week for New York football teams as we delve into the rest of the NFL Week 1 reactions. The Dallas Cowboys, was it 40-0?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On Sunday Night Football. And a game, I think I watched 6 snaps of that game. I was zonked out, man. I watched football from noon until like 1 o'clock in the morning Saturday, and then all day Sunday. And I said I'm going to take a 20-minute cat nap before the Sunday night game. And I was done. So I saw like 6 snaps, and then I was out. And I woke up, and I was like 26. What was it, 26-0 at the half?
Right.
And then I like dozed off again, and I woke up again. It was 40-0. I was like, well, I didn't miss anything here.
No, not much. After the block kick, that was pretty much all he needed.
Yeah, and then they couldn't protect Daniel Jones, so he had happy feet Yeah, he was running for his life back there.
I did look at a good portion of the highlights of that over the last couple days here, or last day or so, whatever. He looked. I mean, the line didn't look great, but he looked terrible. I mean, you look at quarterbacks that got paid. They played bad this week. Between him and Joe Burrow, looked like he'd never picked up a football before.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Joe Burrow.
I'll give Joe Burrow. I'll give Joe Burrow at least a pass because he didn't have a lot of preseason because he was hurt with the calf injury. So I'd give him that. And Cincinnati always starts off slow. They were 0-2 last year. They got all the way to the AFC Championship game. I think the year before that, when they got to the Super Bowl, they may have been 500 middle of the season. And they made a run. He's
probably not 100% either.
Yeah,
they might have should have just rested him. But
well, they pulled him. They pulled him literally. So they were showing it on NFL Red Zone. I was watching, and they pulled him like
halfway through the
fourth quarter. Yeah. Like they were like done. They were
just waving the white flag.
Yeah, I mean he was getting beat up, and he had so many incompletions. I mean, you could tell like the timing was off. I think the weather was terrible out there. So I mean, Watson didn't look good either. So
well, in our league, I have Burrow and T. Higgins, and I got 3 points combined from both of them.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I told y'all, man, I'm cursed in that league.
Speaking of bad quarterback play,
Burrow was 14 for 31. I mean, it was. I mean,
speaking of bad quarterback play, going back to the Monday night game, Josh Allen with 4 turnovers. No one's talking about this, but he's got 83 turnovers since entering the league in 2018. He is a turnover machine.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's about to turn on him.
Yeah.
Because he is one of them guys that, like, he's made some mistakes and nobody really talks about it. Now people are starting to talk about it. Now every time he starts having a bad game from here on out, people are probably going to start piling on him.
One guy that was happy he had those turnovers, though, was Jordan Whitehead of the Jets. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he had an escalator in his contract where he got a $250,000 bonus this season if he got 3 picks. Yeah, nice. He had 3 picks last night.
Nice.
Yeah, they were saying that he had like 3 picks or 4 picks last year, and like 1,000 some odd snaps, and he got him like in 50 some odd snaps this year. I mean, Allen was finding him. I mean, he was he was hitting them right at that 3, pretty much all night.
Josh Allen completed more balls to Jets than Aaron Rodgers did. I mean, it's true.
Boo. Yeah, I saw that.
But I mean. At some point, though, and like I think at one point he had a run, and I remember screaming at the TV like "Get down!" and he took like a really hard blow like over the middle, and you can see Sean McDermott like pointing like to his head like "Play smart!" Like you're the franchise quarterback. You just saw this other team that you're playing lose their franchise quarterback, and you're out here week 1 playing with reckless abandon. I love his competitive streak. I like that he's going to run guys over, but sometimes you just got to be smart and go down.
Yeah, because I think that was a 3rd down.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't getting the first down, so it was nothing gained from it.
Yeah. I mean, offensive line, there's another trend that I saw this week, that offensive line play was terrible. I mean, Daniel Jones got pressured 27 out of 28 dropbacks. I mean, he got sacked 7 times. Well, between him and Tyrod Taylor, who came in the 4th quarter. Sam Howell for the Washington Commanders, he got sacked 6 times. I mean, like
against the Cardinals,
right? Yeah. I mean, like the offensive lines are bad. And again, I don't know if that's no preseason work where they're just not in sync right now, but quarterbacks are getting beat up.
Well, we'll see what happens with week 2 coming up here. We'll transition to our week 2 picks once again. We are Scotty, you got the stats from last week. What were we in the NFL? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
NFL, I was 2-1. 5-0 with my other picks. I just put that out there. My best day gambling of my life. I gotta brag a little bit.
So catch Scotty off air to get the correct picks.
Just don't follow my college picks. But yeah, so I was 2-1 NFL. Let's see, Ryan was. I think we're all
2-1.
Ryan was 2-1. Leon, you were 1-2, but you had the parlay that you hit for your 1 win. So.
The Stone Cold Lock, baby. Dolphins and the over. Let's go.
We got to come up with a different term. Stone Cold. That might be copyrighted.
Yeah. ESPN, have your people call my people.
Washington Commander fans, if you're listening and watching this podcast, all maybe 30 of you that are watching that are Commanders fans, he did pick Washington to cover that 7, and that's why the game was so close, because he's the jinx. I know Scotty was mad over here.
Never bet on Washington as a favorite with the point spread.
Well, I'll start things off for our week 2 picks this week. I'm going to go with the worst game on the board this week, Indianapolis at Houston. Both teams 0-1. There's nothing interesting about this game at all except for the 2 rookie quarterbacks scoring off. Anthony Richardson last week didn't look terrible. 24-37, 223, a touchdown and an interception in a loss to the Jags. Both of these guys still trying to figure things out. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I'm going to go with the under 40 points with Caesars. I saw this earlier this afternoon, so I'm going to go under 40 for Indianapolis at Houston. Okay. You want to do a game, or you want me to go through all 3 of mine?
Yeah, let's go through all 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am also going to go with Kansas City at Jacksonville. Chiefs 0-1, Jags 1-0. Chris Jones signed his deal. He will be back in the lineup, and you can tell his presence was missed against the Lions there on Thursday night. We'll see if Travis Kelce comes back. I know Saturday they were optimistic about it. We'll see if he's back in the lineup. That certainly makes them a different team with those 2 guys in the lineup. Jags are 0-7 against the Chiefs since 2009, including losses in Week 10 and the divisional round last season. Simply put, Kansas City isn't going to start 0-2 with that talent. I'm going to take Kansas City minus the 3 points on the road in Duval County. That was a good Duval, I think.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Look for a little more ooh in your Duval.
Duval.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. I'm sorry, and maybe they'll kick me out of Jacksonville next time.
Yeah, it's like you just read it.
Send me to St. Simon's.
No extra use at all.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to be kind to our folks in Jacksonville. It is a very large, expansive city that's kind of boring, but also kind of nice. All right, then also I'm going to go Cleveland at Pittsburgh, 1 of the 2 Monday night games. Brownies 1-0, Steelers 0-1. Pittsburgh, I know that was my pick for the AFC North, but they got a lot of things to figure out. Matt Canada's offense, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. I don't know where these changes were supposed to happen in the offseason. I know San Francisco is probably the best team in the league right now, top to bottom, but they looked abysmal. And did you see the quote where Trent Williams said, like, they were hoping that Pittsburgh got a first down at some point because their offense was on the field so much they retired. They wanted to get a breather.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's awful. The Steelers last week, this was their first 5 drives. They had 1 net yard, no first downs, 4 points, 4 punts, and an interception. That was their first 5 drives against the 49ers. And it doesn't get better when they take on the Browns team that, held the Bengals with Burrow and Chase and Higgins and Mixon to 3 points. I feel like Nick Chubb's going to have a big day on the ground. Cleveland minus the 2. You can go ahead and put the mortgage on that one.
Wow, not giving the Steelers round. What did Berman say? Round the wagon.
Yeah, circle the wagon.
Circle the wagon.
Well, it always says nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, yeah, but no love on Tomlin. You got to keep that 500 record up, man. Can't go 0-2 now.
Well,
he's on my my Cleveland Browns bandwagon now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Deshaun Watson, as long as you keep him away from the massage parlors, they might be all right.
Jesus.
Speaking of massage parlors, Scotty, your picks.
All right. Let's see. My picks here. Let me get back to my screen here.
As you pad away
well,
there.
I'm going back and forth with entering the picks here.
Oh, that's right. He is our official stat keeper here.
All right, so my first pick, I'm going to stick with the Packers here. They're playing in Atlanta. The Packers looked really good last week. I picked them last week. I'm going to keep rolling with them. And I think, Ryan, you mentioned this in the group chat, how bad Ritter looked.
Yeah. Ritter was awful last week.
Yeah, nothing to be enthusiastic about. They won because they were playing another bad team, Carolina, with Bryce Young in his first game. So Packers -1 on DraftKings is where I got it. That's just they're going to go in Atlanta and win that game. Like Jordan Love looked pretty good. He still got something to prove, but got a decent defense. And I mean that run game and Jordan Love. So that's Packers -1 over the Falcons is my first pick.
I saw that line earlier today, and it was like Packers -1. It was like -112, or I want to say. And I think the money line was like 118, but it didn't make sense because like -1 is money line, but they were different numbers. And I saw that on DraftKings
I guess
too.
-0.5 is really money line.
Yeah.
If they win by 1, you get That's a push.
Yeah, I
So,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
probably-
was sitting there. I was like, why the hell would if I thought they were going to win? Why wouldn't I just take the -1? But yeah, no, you're a smart man.
Well,
for
no,
taking the
no,
-1.
yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah.
If it's less than 2.5, I'm almost going money line.
Yeah, just go ahead and yeah.
But all right. So my second pick is the Giants -4.
Did the Giants know that they're playing?
They are in Arizona.
Okay.
Okay. So I feel like this is an overreaction to kind of both games. You know, the Cardinals kept it close with the Commanders, but that's just what the Commanders do. And then the Giants they were just dead once that block kick, and then did they return that for a touchdown? And then they had like a defensive touchdown, right?
Dallas had two
Yeah,
defensive
yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah, they had the block punt. That was the first, or the block field goal. That was the first touchdown, and then like the next drive, it was like a deflection or something off of Barkley.
Yeah.
If I may, for a second here, I was up big in my fantasy league for the radio group I used to work at, and the afternoon host on the sports station here beat me because of the goddamn Cowboys and their defense.
Let's go.
So yeah,
Nice. But yeah, the Giants aren't that team that we saw Sunday night. They're just not that bad. They just ran into a buzzsaw of a defense, and things got carried away, and they couldn't get back. But they're much better than the Cardinals. Giants -4. That's not enough points to me.
Oh man,
oh, gee, man.
Cardinals. I think they could be like the Nationals. Everybody thought the Nationals in baseball were going to be bad this year. Nobody wants to really play the Nationals on a nightly basis because the Nationals seem to take at least one out of you. They're like 64. They said their record's like 64 and like 80 something right now, 87. I was like, damn, I would have never thought that they would ever win 60 games. I just feel like the Cardinals just are one of those teams, or like the Indians off of Major League, where nobody gave a fuck about them and nobody cared, and they're just gonna like give teams hell.
As of this recording,
it's
the Nats are
possible.
65-79.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's possible. I just see the Giants bouncing back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. All right, my third pick here is Seahawks +6
Against
Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. They're in Detroit, but again, I feel like this is an overreaction. The Lions did go into Kansas City and win. Were they in Kansas City or Detroit?
yeah, that was in Kansas City. Though there was a lot of blue in the crowd, but they were in they were in Arrowhead. It was a lot more blue than I thought it would be though.
But again, if any receiver in the league other than Kadarius Toney is on the Chiefs in that game, the Chiefs probably win that game. And then again, they're getting 6 points, like the Lions as a 6-point favorite. Everybody's going to be on them to win this game. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago, how that underdog mentality for them is what works for them. They're coming in as a 6-point favorite. Seattle, again, I don't think they're as bad as they looked. I think the Rams just played a hell of a game, and people were overlooking them. So I don't like that it's on the road, but I think the Lions will win a close one. But 6 points is just too much for me. So that's my third pick.
All right, and yeah, you mentioned the Rams played a great game. Who's that receiver that I'm scared to pronounce his name because I don't want to get canceled?
Well, there's a Tutu Atwell. That's
No,
probably not who
it's
you're
not
talking
Tutu
about.
Atwell. It's
Let's see.
Puka?
yeah, Puka Nuka. What's his name?
Puka Nakua.
Cool.
That might be racist.
Puka Nakua, yeah. I think everyone was rushing to the fantasy waiver wire in their respective leagues, especially the ones that didn't have a waiver wire where you could just like pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Puka Nakua.
Yeah, he's just playing. I guess he's playing the Cooper Cup role.
Yeah.
In that offense, I mean, that's why he got so many targets. I think he had like 15 targets. So.
Ryan, with your what was it? Your Dallas Cowboys got 5 shirt, or are you trying to insinuate something on the show here?
It's a Cowboy shirt.
Okay.
It's an old one, but it's a Cowboy shirt. I mean, it's
those
still relevant since the last 30 some odd years. How many years now? 27 years. They won in '96. So yeah.
Scotty wasn't born then. What do you have for your grandpa's locks this week? That's the official segment brought to you by Malax. Grandpa's locks of the week.
Well, I am taking something that ends in a lax, but it's not Malax. But anyway,
There's a shortage on that.
Yeah, there is a shortage of laxative right now.
That's one of the stories that didn't make the cut.
Right. That hit the cutting room floor.
Forgot to put that in there.
I'm gonna not take Scotty's pick on the Seattle Lions game, but I do have a bet I want to put on that game, and that's the over under on that game is 47. If anybody remembers that game last year, it was a 48-45 shootout. in Detroit. This game is being played in Detroit this year. So I think Seattle has something to prove from last week's basically nothing burger against the Rams. They just didn't look good. Geno only threw for 112 yards, which shocked me. I didn't realize he threw for those little of yards this last week. But I think he's going to come back strong. I think the Lions offense is going to open up a little bit more. Next week, they'll be a little more familiar with each other. I think the NFL in general will be a better product in terms of just offense, because last week, again, wasn't a very offensive week. I don't think there was a team, maybe other than the Rams in Dallas, that scored 30, 49ers. It was just a handful of teams that even got close to 30.
Numbers were down.
Yeah, so I think next week you'll see more offense. So hopefully the Seattle Lions game will be over 47, which again, these teams combined for 93 last season. So definitely I think that's a pretty sure bet for me. I really do like that pick.
I like that one too. Seahawks won that game, by the way, in Detroit last year.
Did you say it was a shootout in Detroit last year?
Is there one there every day, right? Was that Chicago?
No, that you stepped on it there. That was Detroit. Yeah. But I digress.
Second game is going to be Dolphins at Patriots Sunday night game. Dolphins are favored by 2.5. I gotta believe the Dolphins are going to win that game and back up that win they had against the Chargers. Again, I just think the Dolphins, just offensively, they're going to be able to score more points than what the Patriots can. The Patriots, even though they put up 20 last week, it was like a painful 20 points they scored. I know Miami's defense is not Philly's, but I think if it becomes a shootout, I think Miami is just going to be able to beat them by more than 2.5 points, beat them by 3 or more. I really do like that pick. Tyreek Hill is killing people. Tua seems like he's back. Waddle's looking good. I just think it's going to be a game where it's going to be Miami probably in the upper 20s, maybe in the lower 30s, to say 34. Or I don't think the Patriots can get to the 30s, even though their defense is solid. I still think Miami's offense is just it's just lethal, man. I mean, the Chargers' defense is not great, but I just think they're going to put points on anybody and everybody. So
yeah, Tyreek was unbelievable.
Yeah. Right.
Like
Yeah.
I almost picked that, but
yeah, just 2.5 just seems like it's too low of a line. I don't know if it's just because New England hung with the Eagles last week and they're like, well, they're a good home team. Belichick will figure out something, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be I just think they're going to put up at least 27 on them, and maybe the Patriots gets to the lower 20s, and it's they cover that 2.5. My last game is going to be Jets at Cowboys. I have the Jets plus 9.5. Being a Cowboys fan, I that line makes me nervous. I think it's like Scotti said, I think it's an overreaction. I don't think the Jets are that bad of a team, even with Zach Wilson. That defense, I think, is going to create turnovers. Dak Prescott is going to throw a pick. It's just going to happen in that game.
He's going to throw a pick getting off the bus.
If not one or two. I can see that game being a slugfest. I can see that game being 20-13 or something like that. I mean, the under in that game looks good too to me. But
what is the over-under on that?
Let me check. I didn't even check that.
I guess I should be the one checking that, right?
Yeah, well, as we pad on that right now, I can get over to that rather quickly, I believe. Yeah. The over-under in the Cowboys and Jets. And this right now, according to Caesars, with coming through from ESPN, the over-under on this game is 39.5 points.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'd still take the under.
Yeah.
The only thing you got to, like you were saying, Dak throwing an interception, but also Zach Wilson throwing interceptions and getting some defensive touchdowns or short fields.
That's the
only thing you have to worry about.
Right, yeah. I mean, I just think that game is whoever throws the least number of turnovers, the least number of interceptions is going to win it, to be honest with you. And I think the Cowboys will win it, but I think that game could be much closer just because of the turnover aspect. Again, I think 9.5 is way too much. If we did this podcast maybe on Thursday or Friday, I believe that line will be even bigger. I would not be shocked if it gets to 10.5 before Sunday.
Sorry. It seems like we're all forgetting that the Jets came back and won last night.
Yeah.
Like with Zach Wilson. So, I mean.
Well, 4 turnovers from Josh Allen, definitely helped.
Right.
Yeah, but Dak might give them a couple turnovers too. So.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's why I say Jets will cover that 9.5. I can see that being a 20-13 game, or
If I could offer a piece of advice to the Jets, let's stop with the cut blocks because that got your quarterback put on the IR there. You might not want to cut block Micah Parsons either. I'm just want to say you might want to put a hat on that guy, put someone in front of him, maybe hire some of Dallas's finest to protect Dak, but you definitely, to protect Zach Wilson, but you definitely want to keep number 11 away.
Yeah.
I think I like your picks better than mine, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I was looking at pretty much all these picks that you made.
You got big pick envy.
Maybe.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Let's
Shut up!
Yeah.
Shut up!
Ooh, yellow.
Yeah, got a yellow. Got an early yellow.
Big pick energy.
Hey,
Got an early yellow.
Speaking of which, Nick Foles is out there. Maybe the Jets call him. Could you imagine Foles and Zach Wilson going out in town together?
I no comment.
Yeah.
It's already thundering outside, so I feel like something's gonna happen.
Well, before we go into college, one thing I did see, NFL wise, kind of a bizarre story. Did you guys see that the Chargers had some artificial intelligence robots in the stands for their game against the Dolphins?
I did see that. That was a bizarre sight, to say the least.
Yeah.
It was a tie-in with a movie. What was the name of the movie?
The creator.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I didn't see the trailer for that until after. I'll be honest. When I first saw them, I thought it was just some people with some Beats headphones on. I was like, why are they showing these people?
Yeah, and they were roaming around the crowd and stuff like that. And remember, we saw some fights. I can't remember. It was at SoFi. I can't remember if it was Rams game or Charger game. Was it preseason last year? There was a big Donnybrook between Ram fan and Charger fan. Charger fan will fight. They'll usually lose that fight to Ram fan and Raider fan, but Charger fan will fight. I would love to have seen them mix it up with a robot. What has happened is someone throw beer on it or you push it? Would they fight back? Would they respond like an NFL fan?
That was exactly what my thought was. I can't wait for some drunk fan to start a fight with one and it just goes iRobot mode and rips somebody's head off or something and just goes crazy and starts attacking people.
Is this how humanity ends? Because if you send that thing to Philadelphia, that's a reason. By the way, Philly didn't get one of those sent. San Francisco, their fans are hooligans. No one ever talks about it, but they didn't get one sent. They didn't send them to Chicago. Some rough places. They sent them to the Chargers. They're a little bit more docile.
They send them somewhere where they don't have fans that come to the game.
That's very true. And who's going to fight Dolphin fan?
Charger fan will fight. I mean,
yeah, but who's going to fight Dolphin fan? I'm saying, the only time I ever remember Dolphin. Oh God, I think it was a Raider Dolphin playoff game in the early 2000s. I remember Jim Rohn talking about this. A Dolphin fan got beat up and I think stabbed and pissed on at the Coliseum. Jeez. That's not funny. It's not funny at all. But I mean, that's something that would happen to you at the Oakland Coliseum taking on the Raiders.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine Dolphin fan throwing a lot of fisticuffs. So these, I don't know, if you were wearing a Tua jersey and talking smack to these robots, you think they would respond?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, it's AI. It's AI driven.
Is this the best place to be putting AI robots for I'm assuming this is probably their first time out in public, around a bunch of crazy football fans drunk and probably saying all kinds of shit.
They should have sent them to Iowa State last week. Can you imagine all those farm rednecks? What in the hell? Hey, can this thing harvest corn?
It'd be the first time AI fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games are boring. In the I don't know what Iowa's nickname is. The
Hawkeyes.
Hawkeye State.
Yeah, they're the Hawkeye State, but the team is the Hawkeyes. Yeah. Which, by the way, if you're Iowa State, you gotta feel like shit, right? Because the goddamn state's nickname is the name of the other school. It's
you're named after a natural disaster, so I don't know if that's a good one either.
Well, that's very true.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? They get cyclones there. It's like Miami. It's like your city gets wiped out by hurricanes, so pay homage to them. At least you're not a Fugazi like Tulsa, golden hurricane. What the fuck is a golden hurricane? I heard of golden showers.
Did they call Florida?
I was going to say, maybe
our suspended producer, our suspended friend takes those.
Is Florida called the hurricane state?
No, Florida's the Sunshine State.
Okay. So,
But even though
I'm saying you can't name your state after
after,
something that causes tragedies.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I see.
True.
What? Who's the granite state? Is it like New Hampshire? I'm sure someone's been killed by like falling granite before or something.
Sure, I guess at some point in the history of man.
Yeah,
West Virginia? I don't know.
Mountaineer state. Well, how many drunken West Virginians have fallen off mountains? I'm sure there's thousands over the years.
Countless, yeah.
Yeah, just you take that sip of moonshine from your still, you go tumbling down. You're like that goddamn yodi 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 guy from The Price is Right when he goes like tumbling down. Yeah, like the walls of Jericho.
The granite state is New Hampshire.
Boom!
Oh, damn.
Look at that. Take me to trivia night, baby. Crown me. Then, as Denny Green said, crown my ass.
Crown my ass.
All right, so we'll see what the AI overlords do.
But also, just one thing about the AI thing. Like, so if you came in late to the game, or if you came in after the AI robots were sat down, and then your ass sits down right beside one, like,
Who?
would you want to fucking move? Or like be like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? Is he like, does he have a disease or something wrong?
I
or,
think
like,
It's just LA.
I mean, if nobody told you, maybe they told them, hey, you're gonna have this promotional thing from the creator, or you just be like cool with it and just
I think I would love it, actually.
really.
Because they're not going to make any noise. They're going to be predictable. They're just, well, you hope that they're
think?
predictable. They're just going to sit there and not move and not say anything. That's my type of people.
Okay. What if you got the hawkers? You got the hawkers that go up and down the aisle, selling beer and all that stuff, and maybe it's more sort of a baseball culture than football. Usually, at football, I don't buy beer from them. I usually just go up to the concessions. Mm-hmm. But maybe, usually you buy beer and like 3 or 4 people like pass it down the row. You pass your card or your money, they pass it down. Are the robots going to pass the alcohol down? Are they going to pass your nachos down?
That's what I'm saying. Will they be helpful?
Yeah, well, your blood alcohol level is too high. And they like dump out your beer.
Yeah. Will they grab your nachos and just chuck them?
Yeah.
Chuck them, put them on the guy's head in front of you.
Leon, you are fat. No more nachos. And he just like slaps it out of your hand. I'd fight a robot, honestly.
Okay, that's the one thing I wouldn't do.
Fight a robot?
What are you going to do to a robot?
Short circuit that motherfucker. I'll throw one of those $25 beers in his face. Actually, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't want to
good
waste
luck with
alcohol. Ryan, give me a bottle of water. I'll toss it on the robot.
You will go viral for dying on TV.
Shouldn't we all be so lucky?
Robot will be like the damn Terminator and just
Yeah.
pick his ass up.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if someone's going to bring about the downfall of humanity, it might as well be me.
Shit.
You're up on my list. Yeah. You're top 5.
Well, it's like me, Trump, Putin. Yeah,
Pretty much.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, his motorized train, his armored train that he's taking to Russia right now. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. All right, well, I for one welcome our robot overlords.
Okay.
We'll send you to that ship when it comes down. Be like, take the big guy right there.
Think about all the testing. You know what? I could be a martyr for humanity. They could get a lot of testing done on me. There's a lot of mileage you can get out of my body.
You can never be a martyr.
Hey. Thousands of people would be looking up to me. One might say worshiping me.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and get one of those cards ready.
The red's about to come up.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about him.
Yeah. Well, the other card you got there is yellow, which is an offset color of gold, which there are going to be lots of gold in the stands at Folsom Field. Saturday night college game day is going to be in Boulder. I think for the first time in 26 years. And I think Fox's big noon kickoff is going to be there too, even though they don't have the game. Barstool was invited, but Portnoy turned it down after they got stoned from week 1 at the Colorado game because apparently Fox didn't want Barstool there. But you got both pregame shows there in Boulder. You got Colorado State, Rocky Mountain Showdown. Rams 0-1, Buffs 2-0, of course, number 18 in the country. Rams coming off a bye last week. They lost 50-24 in Fort Collins, a.k.a. Fort Fun, to Washington State in week 1. Redshirt freshman Braden Fowler Nicolosi getting his first career start for Colorado State after replacing the injured Clay Millen in the loss. Listen to this, though. He did lead the Rams to 21 fourth-quarter points, tossed 2 touchdowns and a pick. None of that's going to matter. Colorado has so much better talent. I like Jay Norvell. I like what he's doing in Fort Collins with Colorado State. It's a slow climb in year 2. Ain't going to be pretty. Colorado is going to score early, and they're going to score often. Take the Buffaloes minus the 23 points easy at home over the Rams.
Wow. No possible rivalry,
No, this is
closing the gap up a little bit,
Colorado's dominated that series for so long, and they stopped playing the series for a couple of years. They were doing in Denver, in neutral sites. Now it's back, and I think CSU has to come to Boulder. I don't think Colorado has any return trips to Fort Collins on the menu. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to Fort Collins anytime soon.
No letdown.
I don't see a letdown after the big emotional win.
I know they're favored against Nebraska, but there was still a lot of people picking Nebraska.
Yeah, and they rushed the field, which they got a lot of flack for. They were the ranked team.
That is kind of weird.
I was like, what?
I think people don't understand the history of that rivalry. Like, Nebraska dominated that rivalry, and especially in the 90s when Colorado was good and Nebraska did, like perpetually putting them down, Big Red taking over their stadium. Like, that was 30 years of pent up frustration coming out there.
Well, we'll give them that one. If they do it this week, then
no, they look down on Colorado State. They're a speck on the wall to them. Now you mentioned letdowns, Ryan. Wyoming 2-0 on the road at number 4 Texas. Pokes coming off the upset in week 1 in Laramie over Texas Tech. Then they beat FCS Portland State 31-17 last week. Portland State had given up 81 points to Oregon the week before, so take from that what you will. Texas, of course, coming off the big win at Bama. Texas wide receiver Isaiah Nayer, he's in his second season in Austin after transferring from Wyoming, so I know this will be a special one for him. Texas 5-0 all-time against the Pokes. That being said, I think Texas is going to start slow. I think they're going to be still riding high over that win over Bama. I like Wyoming, possible backdoor cover situation. I like Wyoming plus the 28.5.
Wow. I almost went there, actually.
What, to Wyoming?
Yeah.
University of Wyoming?
I didn't. No. I almost made that. That was going to be one of my picks.
Oh, okay.
I thought about it for a second.
I thought you were almost going to be a cowboy. I was like, all right, let's go. And then to round things out here as I work my board from bottom to top, why I don't know. Number 7, Penn State 2-0 on the road at Illinois 1-1. I shit the bed at Kansas. That was one of my picks last week. I believed in Brett Bielema. I'm parking that train this week. Penn State has put 38 on West Virginia and 63 on Delaware. Meanwhile, the Illini have given up 28 to Toledo and 34 to Kansas. I'm taking Penn State and the over 49.5. That is my put the mortgage on it college football play of the week. Penn State and over 49.5.
All right.
Bets doomed to fail.
Yes. Is Illinois going to score any points to get them over that?
Right.
Nittany Lions will score at least 35 in that, in that game.
Is Illinois going to get 15?
I think they'll get some garbage touchdowns there. Penn State's given up some points to West Virginia along the way. They dominated Delaware last week, but that's FCS Delaware, and Tubby Raymond is not with us no more. So, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Delaware needed Joe Biden out there. He could have.
Oh, Lord.
He could have played for Delaware.
When in 1950?
Y'all were in the same class.
Before the forward pass was legalized.
I would love to have seen like footage of like presidents. I mean, obviously President Ford is the the most athletic one. I would imagine Kennedy is probably not far behind. Bush 43 play baseball at Yale. Mm-hmm. I saw Trump chucking passes in the crowd at Iowa State Saturday. He looked like he had a decent arm for a man of his age, but I mean, Obama can ball like basketball,
Sure. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody looks good without pads on.
Yeah. What did the Slick Willie do anything?
I don't think he played sports.
We're going to just take a knee on that one there.
I'll plead the fifth.
Yeah, I love to see what Grover Cleveland did back in the day. Was he a hell of a craps player or something?
Grover Cleveland,
or like McKinley, he was a fat son of a bitch. You're like, what did he do?
He got shot. That was one thing that happened to him.
Left tackle. Be left tackle.
Ironically, about that, before we go to your picks, that happened at the World's Fair, and his tent didn't have electricity. And electricity was one of the biggest things at the World Fair. They had simple electricity and like sterilization stuff. He would have lived.
Really?
Yeah. R.I.P. Twisted History podcast, Barstool Sports. That feed's still up on Spotify. You can go back and learn all kinds of weird history stuff. But yeah, look that up. McKinley, World's Fair.
The anniversary of his assassination was the 6th.
How do you know that? Are you Rain Man?
No. I read an article on it. I saw it on, I don't know, just random fact, like things that happened today in history.
Oh, okay. You go
thing.
You go to much different places than our suspended friend goes to online. That's why he's suspended now.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I enjoy, learning some facts, Never too old to learn.
Well, we'll see if Scotty's learned about from his college football follies with his picks.
All right. Hey, so I did go 1-2 with the podcast on college football, but I did make money betting college football on Saturday. We won't talk about Thursday, but then I lost it on Adesanya, but that's neither here nor there. But
yeah, that was a surprise to the world.
Hey, you're talking to a man who hit an 8-leg soccer parlay earlier today. Okay, baby, international soccer. I'm your guy.
We're all making money here. But yeah, first pick here. I'm actually going with the Colorado game too. I'm going to go the over 59. I just don't see Colorado having 2 unders in a row. I mean, they did their part last week as far as hitting the over. I didn't realize how bad Nebraska's offense was. I mean, I know they sucked against Minnesota, but I feel like they could put up something more than they did against Colorado. But
easy money.
Yeah.
Easy money. I watched that Minnesota-Nebraska game. I didn't mean to stop you there, but that game 2 Thursdays ago was an abomination of any type of football. Yeah, we were group texting each other, and we were talking about how the Atlanta Carolina game was really bad. If you watch Nebraska Minnesota, a couple of Thursdays ago, that game was hard to watch.
Big Ten football, baby, catch the fever.
Jeez. I thought the last 5 minutes was pretty exciting.
Yes, it got exciting at the end, but to get to that point, it was like throwing sand in your eyes. You had to keep watching, and while you're rubbing your eyes, like, what the hell am I looking at?
But you had to keep rowing the boat.
Sure.
Whatever. What's his name?
Skyuma.
There it is.
Skyuma. Go Gophers.
Well, yeah, I can see Colorado being in the 40s, Colorado State maybe getting the 20. So I think that over should hit. So that's my first pick. Second pick, I'm going to go West Virginia money line at home against Pittsburgh. I feel like
backyard brawl.
Pittsburgh has not been good so far this year. They're going into West Virginia. West Virginia, they're not good, but they haven't been the train wreck that we all thought they were going to be. And just them being at home, I think, is enough for them to get that win. And then my third pick, this line has went down. I haven't seen it in the last couple hours, but I got it at 25.5. Florida State over Boston College.
Ooh.
It was at 28.5. It came down to 25. Florida State's going to not show up at some point for 1 week. We know it's going to happen. I don't think it's this week. I think they're still super confident. They're rolling. Boston College is not. 25.5. I don't know why it's come down 3 points, but I will buy the dip on that.
I almost put that game on my board, and I would have if it was a night game. But that's a noon game in Chestnut Hill.
That's true.
It's their red bandana game. Boston College is guaranteed one sellout every year, and that's the red bandana game. If you don't know about that, Google red bandana, the story about Wells Crowther, the club lacrosse player at BC, and the heroics he did on 9/11. BC, for whatever reason, they always play tough against whoever they play in that red bandana game. And I think they upset Florida State a few years ago in that, before Florida State was Florida State. I agree. I think they might start a little slow, some of those. I would feel better about it if it was a night game. But no, I almost had that on my board.
Wait, you almost had what?
What did you take?
Mine's Florida State minus the points.
Oh, you took Florida State minus the points. I almost took BC plus the points there. I would have did it if it was a night game.
If it goes back up to like 28, sure. But
as of this airing right now.
Yeah, I think it's come down too far. And I'm, like I said, buying the dip.
Okay.
What was that? We have a visitor.
Is that a dog? Yep. Yes. We have the official show mascot, Diggy Smalls, running around in here. We'll have to get her picks before the day is out.
Looks like she's looking for a place to take a piss.
Have you seen Ryan's shoe? It's a pretty lovely place to go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing there?
And we'll see how much composure. Oh my God, that's why I laughed. We'll see how much composure that you can have here, Ryan, as you attempt to give your college football picks.
Well, what I want to know first is, what was my record last week, Scotty?
You were 3-0 in college.
That's right.
You were killing it in college.
A broken
football.
clock is right twice a day.
If you were to ride with every Ryan college football pick and fade mine, you're a rich man right now.
Exactly, baby. I am loving college football this year. Usually I'm terrible. It'll probably start this week, but
I feel like I'm going to turn it around there because I've
3 weeks of glory.
actually watched some games now.
Watch, he's going to get cocky now. He's just going to take whatever FCS team is playing an FBS team.
Oh no, I generally try to those games with those big lines, man. They just, I don't know, they scare me. Just covering basically anything over 20 points, it scares me. But yeah, I'm getting my legs licked now by our mascot, so that's a little weird here while I'm giving the picks here.
That's why our suspended friend isn't here.
Wow. For my first pick, well, speaking of, again, going back to our suspended friend, one of his favorite bets are the Iowa Hawkeyes, going back to Iowa, where he likes picking their unders.
You think he can find Iowa on a map? I don't think he can.
He may.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
He may. I give him a little more credit than that. They're playing Western Michigan this week. Western Michigan is god awful. They lost to Syracuse last weekend, 48-7. I think they won. They think their only win is against St. Francis of
New York or Pennsylvania.
I want to say it's of New York.
Okay.
But anyway, they're not that good. I was playing lights out on defense, and offensively they're actually not terrible. I mean they scored 24 against Iowa State last week. Yeah, they won. I'm sorry, they won 20-13. So that wasn't great, but they beat Utah State the week before that, 24-14. So I mean, they're scoring in the 20s, which I think is more than enough with that defense they have to beat Western Michigan.
But not good enough to keep Brian Ferentz's job. Remember, at the end of the year, he has to average 25 points a game. That's one of his conditions.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is crazy. And actually, Western Michigan lost to St. Francis of Pennsylvania. Oh, Western Michigan beat St. Francis of Pennsylvania 35-17. But anyway, this game is in Iowa City. The over-under is currently, I have it at 42.5. So I like Iowa to keep this game at, like, say, a 27-10 win. I just think they just have too much for Western Michigan, but they won't pull away just because they're not built for that. My next game is going to be.
I'm sorry, real quick. You had what'd you have the under as?
42.5.
Okay. Gotcha.
My next game, I'm staying in the Big Ten. I am going with the Louisville, Indiana game, where I'm taking Indiana to +10. I think that's maybe too many points for Louisville to cover. I know they looked good last week against Murray State, but again, it's Murray State. They had a tough time at Georgia Tech a couple of weeks ago. They may have gotten themselves straight, maybe with Murray State. Maybe that was a way to. Maybe that was a game to get right. There you go, a get right game. But I think Indiana is playing teams tough. I mean, they played Ohio State week 1, 23-3. Again, they probably played Ohio State about as tough as they could. Their offense didn't really show up, but they did look good last week against Indiana State, where they won 41-7. So I think that Louisville Indiana game could be tighter than people are expecting. I think Louisville could win the game, but it could be something like a 27-20 game or something to that effect. I really do think Indiana's a little bit better than Vegas is giving them credit for.
That game, neutral site game, by the way, at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
Oh, is it now? Okay, yeah. I didn't realize that.
And also, the best sign I saw last week, someone hung up a sign outside of a dorm at Louisville that says that Ja Morant has more weapons than Murray State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, people just
Stop me.
think of shit that I would never have an idea of thinking about, like, or even think about. I mean, that was great and creative. I appreciate that.
Stop me when I lie, though. I like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That game almost made my board as well, Ryan. You and I are swimming in the same water there, so you may want to change your pick.
don't say that, man. Don't do that to me.
Give the mush.
In my last game, I don't know why I feel like this is going to hit, but I have a feeling that I'm going out west. I'm going Pac-12 late. What is it? Pac-12 at night?
Pac-12 after dark.
After dark. I got Fresno State and Arizona State. Even though Fresno State, of course, is not in the Pac-12, they could be next year. Who knows? But they're not currently in the Pac-12. They are -3 favorites against Arizona State in Tempe. I don't know. I just don't. Arizona State just has not played well this year. They played Arizona State pretty tough last week at home, but they barely beat Southern Utah the week before, 24-21. The Oklahoma State game was 27-15. Fresno State has been not great either, but I just feel like Arizona State's just a new quarterback,
New coach.
Herm Edward thing is going on, aren't they? Like up for a possible suspension?
Have a bowl ban this year.
year, so the team may not be that motivated. I like Fresno State to cover that 3. They went on the road and beat Purdue 39-35 in a little bit of a shootout of a game, and they played Eastern Washington, who generally is a tough FCS team. Traditionally they are. So they beat them. It took them double overtime, but they did beat them. I don't know. I just think they're going to get this cover on Arizona State and win by more than 3. Again, this is a hunch more than me doing any analytical work. That game just kind of stood out to me when I looked at it.
Hey, I will listen to you say a lot of things on this show, but I'll be damned if you disparage the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah when I'm around here, okay?
I'm sorry, man. I know you love those Thunderbirds out there in Utah. You like Thunderbird the wine or?
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Oh, okay. Just want to clarify.
I just want to know.
Just clarify.
I see if our suspended firm was here, we can make him drink that. He needs to unsuspend himself. We need a patsy. We need a folly, a dummy. The dude thing. We need a bit boy.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
Scotty, you're gonna have to drink Thunderbird.
What is a Thunderbird? What is it?
Look at Ryan's face here. You've offended him.
It is the cheapest wine you can buy. The cheapest best wine you can buy.
So why am I getting dared to drink it?
It's awful. It's god awful. I'd rather drink the fluid of a radiator from like a 73 Coupe de Ville.
If y'all get some, I'll try it. I'll try it.
It is awful, but I mean,
it's a rite of passage.
Yeah, it's kind of like, have you tried this before in your life? And there, wild turkey or
if somebody
wild turkey's not terrible.
If somebody buys
like
someone
40.
Yeah, it's like Mad Dog, 20,
Mad Dog.
or,
yeah, that's where my mind was going.
Or the little grenades, Mickey's. Remember those beers, the little grenades?
Right. Yeah.
We used to drink those and throw the bottles at each other.
Didn't they have like the little hornet in front of it? Yeah. I mean, just a rite of passage.
I'll try it on a podcast if somebody gets it.
All right,
I'm not a big wine guy, but I guess I'll absorb some of our.
That's a loose name for it. I mean, it's wine, but it's not really wine.
It's to wine what Colt 45 is to beer.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's a loose term.
Which my brother is an ardent drinker of Colt 45 still. One of I don't know. I shouldn't say still. I haven't been in his house in many years. But the last time I was at his house, there was Colt 45 in the fridge there. That's probably why I haven't been back over to his house since.
Well, good for him.
Yeah,
somebody's got to keep that business going. So,
Billy D. Williams around here somewhere, and
maybe that's why he keeps it in his fridge, so you don't come back.
maybe and to ward off that goddamn bull. No, that's the Schlitz malt liquor bull that used to bust through.
That is Schlitz. Yeah, that's Schlitz.
Schlitz.
Is it Schlitz?
Clitoris?
Are we talking about malt liquors?
Yes.
Is there a malt liquor named?
I know. I don't really. I'm showing my ethnicity here. I don't really. I don't know.
That might be racist.
That might be the best one ever.
I've heard of Colt 45. But
There's this
2 zigzags. Maybe that's all we need.
There's this malt liquor called St. Ides. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
Nope.
Sky, don't worry. I'm not a malt liquor fan either. Our suspended friend, though, I think has had many malt liquors before.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
that shit bar that he goes to.
Yeah, it's probably on sale like every Thursday or something.
Yeah, just cigarettes and despair at that place. Speaking of despair, Team USA, real quick, finished fourth in the FIBA World Basketball Championships. They lost to Deutschland, Germany, and then they turned around with the bronze medal game and lost to
Canada,
the
right?
Canucks, the Canadians. Yes.
Fuck Dylan Brooks. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No,
tell us how you really
that's
feel.
allowed.
I hate that dude, man. After the Grizzlies Lakers series, the playoff series,
he's corny.
Did we?
that dude needs to go somewhere. Or just calm down, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Did we send out a C team, or did the rest of the world actually play basketball and we just try to do an and one mixtape?
No, the C team is fair. C or D team, I would call them. Did I just do something?
No, I was,
Okay.
I was paying attention to you.
Yeah.
You're not used to me paying attention to you.
Right, you're right. Yeah. Now Ryan actually mentioned it in the group chat how they don't have any big men. I don't think they had one real center on that team. Maybe what's the rookie's name? Kessler Edwards.
Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler. Where'd I get
Kessler
Edwards?
Kessler Edwards sounds like a really shitty bowler.
I think I mixed them up with that Purdue guard. That's didn't they have a? All right. Anyways, but he shouldn't even really been on the team. I don't think he got much playing time. So they really didn't have like a true center. They just had a bunch of forwards and guards out there, and yeah, I think that's what hurt them against Germany. But as an Orlando Magic fan, Franz Wagner and his brother, they brought home the gold. Go Magic.
Franz Ferdinand? Didn't he end up starting the First World War? He got assassinated.
I know it's like it's a band too.
It's a band, yeah.
Yeah, Take Me Out. There we go. We're gonna get digital claimed for that one, brother.
No, you won't.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, so yeah, Deutschland wins the gold. Now what? Now this is the Dream Team 3 or the Redeem Team or whatever the hell now. LeBron, how old will he be when the Olympics come around?
Yeah, now
Next year.
75?
Now he wants to play and be the savior.
Yeah, and so now like LeBron and Durant, provided his Achilles stays intact, and Steph Curry and all these guys now are coming out of the woodwork. They want to go. Maybe they just want a free trip to Paris.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sure, it's nice.
Yeah, but yeah, all these guys apparently now want to suit up for USA. You know what? Basketball and boxing and soccer are like the only things I really watch in the Summer Olympics. I'm fine with if you just want to go ahead and restrict it just to amateurs. Even though, do we really have amateurs anymore? Because it's everyone's got NIL and stuff now. I don't know, but the whole trope of, okay, we went to a tournament, we lost, we didn't care about it, so now we go and send all the best people in the NBA and we beat everyone. It's kind of boring to me. It's kind of like repetitive at this point. Maybe we send like the best high school kids.
They would destroy. They would destroy them.
Maybe they put an age limit, like international soccer in the Olympics. I think it's like you send your U23 team with like one or two designated people that are above that age. Maybe like we get the world, because the world's clearly caught up to us. Maybe we send like our U18 national team and maybe like one U21 team player or something. Mix it up.
Well, to be honest with you, I think if not this Olympics, 2028 will be the last year that we're legitimately better if we bring our best players than the rest of the world. Like, because the best players in the world now are, in the NBA anyway, are like Luka Doncic and Giannis, Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. I don't think he would be an American, right?
What country is Embiid?
Not American.
Yeah,
that might be racist.
I'm gonna say he's Ghana maybe or Nigeria.
Really? I had no clue.
Yeah, he's not American, definitely. Just we don't have a lot of players that are really that good. I mean, all these players that want to play are like literally 4 years away or less from retiring. Like Curry's 35. Durant's think he's like 35. He's in his mid 30s. LeBron's 38, about to turn 39. I mean, like, our great players that are Americans are much older than the younger players in the NBA, which most of them are foreigners.
Embiid is Cameroonian.
Cameroonian.
Yeah.
There it is.
But I actually disagree with you on the just bringing the amateurs in. I think the fact that everybody can play when we don't bring our best players, it's still like you're still beating USA basketball because you still have all these NBA players. And it's kind of more even level playing field. So
but
it
it's
still
almost
feels
like
like an accomplishment if you're beating Team USA because you have borderline all-stars out there. I think if you just go back to just amateurs, like, okay, you beat USA. Wow, who cares? You beat the 200th best player in the world. Like,
Well, I think it means it's always going to mean more to the world because, I mean, this was our game, even though Dr. Naismith was Canadian, if I remember correctly, wasn't he? James Naismith invented basketball. Yeah.
But it's just different. But if you have NBA players out there, no matter who it is, like Lithuania when they got their win, I'm sure like if it was just over amateurs, a big deal. They would have cared, but it like
Wouldn't have been-
the
it's not
world
the
wouldn't have
same.
cared. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, imagine if there was football is our game, American football.
Football.
But imagine there was like a football and we sent like, you know, we sent Mike White and Bam Knight and, you know, who was that guy from the Jets that ran the kickback yesterday? The undrafted guy from Stephen F. Austin.
Gibson,
yeah. We sent guys like that over, you know? And we're starting to see guys come out of like, you know, Africa and in different places in Europe to go to the NFL. Maybe 30 years from now, we could have a World Cup of football or something maybe. But
yeah, maybe 30 years from now. But no, that would be like a safety issue.
Oh,
like,
well, hey,
we'd be killing dudes out there.
our women lost the flag football thing to Mexico. So, you know,
Well, flag football is also different.
just putting it out there, you know. I don't know. Well, we'll see. This doesn't do anything for me. I know I'm not a big basketball guy, but it just doesn't. It's like the same predictable trope. Excuse me. I wonder what the odds are going to be. I got to look at the odds now to see like what the odds are for the Team USA to Tokyo, the Paris Olympics. Yeah,
Probably minus 200, minus 300, something like that.
Well,
I would guess.
If all those guys play, I would say it's probably closer to 3, right?
The last time we got like our best players in the title game against Spain, like it wasn't a blowout. It was a game until maybe the very end. Like it was close throughout.
Yeah, Spain has traditionally had a lot of players in NBA.
Yeah. So you just get a team that hits some shots. I mean, all it takes is one game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Canada's getting better. I mean, again,
Canada's got to get some shooting, and then they're going to be tough.
Right. Yeah.
I blew that out.
The one time you use that drop.
God.
She was loud.
He turned it all the way up.
She was a screamer. Sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead and give me another card now.
Should I give you with 2 yellows, you get red?
Yeah, so someone's going to have to run this board. All right, well, we'll see what happens there. Transitioning away from sports, a couple things here. As I've actually closed my show sheet in my very professional manner here on the podcast this evening. All right, so one of the things I wanted to get to, there is a Australian woman who wonders if she should go to HR to report a stinky colleague. Now, this story actually hits home for me because I actually have experience with this. But this woman told Mumsnet, which I guess is an Australian moms site. Long story short, I have a colleague who has worked with us for years, but has an awful smell, the poster explained. Unfortunately, her body odor is overwhelming and makes me feel very nauseous. She added, I'm very sensitive to bad smells, and I got a waft of the bad smell because she's placed herself directly next to me. The mother, she made an analogy. I'm just going to get that word wrong. She made an analogy that the aroma was a combination of fecal matter, a period pad left in the sun, and a wet mop.
I didn't read all that. Ugh. Yeah.
I mean, so. Are you guys familiar with Adam Carolla?
Right.
Somewhat, yeah.
When on Loveline, he used to always talk about hobo power. And like he would say if something stunk, it had like, that had 12 hobo power. It's like horsepower. And like no one has ever smelled 100 hobo power. It's like absolute zero. Like you would die if you smelled 100 hobo power. If you just described, I don't even know what a period pad smells like. I don't want to know. But that left in the sun is probably just rancid combined with fecal matter. And what was the other one?
A wet mop.
A wet mop. Which, by the way, that's a very underrated bad smell.
Yeah, it is.
You
bad.
combine all those together, that's got to be like 87 hobo power.
Yeah, I would say the over-under is 87.
Yeah. So I actually have experience with this. And
okay. All right. I know. Okay.
it wasn't me doing the
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I
We just talked about a lot of stuff.
Too, yeah.
No, it wasn't me doing the stinking. I have been in a position before at a former company where I had to manage people, and I've had to have this conversation with employees that was directed to me by HR to have this conversation about people's body odor in the office space. And it is not a pleasant conversation to have with someone. One of my first days as a manager, I had to have this conversation with someone. I don't know how one becomes a grown, maybe there's a medical issue or something like that, who knows? But if you're just like a grown, normal person, I don't know how one gets oneself to this level. Like you gotta, when you stink that bad, you have to smell yourself, right? It's like when you come from the gym, like you're like, oh, geez, I'm a little rancid, like.
Not if you're used to the smell.
Right.
Oh, you've gone nose blind to your own smell.
Right. If that's just your normal smell, then that's your normal smell. But to other people, you smell like shit.
Right. So when I was in high school, I was a band dork, of course, and we used to have a competition every year in Roanoke Rapids High School.
North Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as we get off the bus, it smelled like shit. I guess there was a plant or something. But maybe 10, 15 minutes in, you don't smell it anymore.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, if you're just used to smelling a certain way, it's just going to be normal to you. And I've known some people in my life that were like that. They didn't know they smelled. We had to tell them.
Our suspended friend smells like cigarettes and semen. So, I mean.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But no, I kid, because he's not here to defend himself.
That's the only reason why you kid.
Pretty much. But no, I mean, like, would you guys, if y'all had a stinky person, let's say you're living, I'm going to transport you away from here. You're in Kansas City. You started a new job. You're in Kansas City. Both of y'all are working at, didn't Sprint used to be based out of there, like a telephone company or something?
Yeah, Sprint did.
Yeah. You guys are at Sprint. You guys are about to close up shop at Sprint because Lord knows it's about to go bye-bye. And you're working there, and your desks are next to each other, and maybe like 2 desks down, there's someone that has like 37 hobo power. Are y'all going to go to HR?
Yeah. If it's somebody you can't avoid and you're around them 8 hours a day, I think you have to.
Yeah.
For me, anyways, because, I mean, I'm not the neatest person in the world, but I can't have, like, stink in my house. I just can't deal with it. If it's somebody that I'm around all day, I'm going to HR.
So we can't go watch football at your house then, all the flatulence and fried foods and beers?
Yeah, y'all got to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it, Scott. I was looking to define your place.
I mean, to me, I would just
Say something. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say something. I would just be kind of passive aggressive with it and like give them like a little gift basket with some, deodorants, some, mouthwash, just things to make him or her know that, okay, you have a little bit of a body odor and this is our way of just welcoming you to the department or to the floor. But at the same time, we want to help you out at the same time. So it kind of beats both things, kind of.
I don't know.
You make it worse there,
Yes,
though.
I feel like that, too.
Because
Why?
if let's say it's me, and you give me a gift basket of I just bought a very nice body wash, Duke Cannon. It smells like Buffalo Trace. So like literally, I smell my arms sometimes during the day, like I smell like bourbon. It's great. So let's say you give me a very nice gift basket with various assortment items like that, and I see Scotty in the hallway.
Some Ricola.
And so, Jesus Christ. And I see Scotty in the hallway, and I go, "Hey, Scotty, that guy Ryan, that old man, he was really nice. He gave me a gift basket." Scotty's like, "Oh, what'd you get?" I'm like, "Oh, I got this and this and this and this." What did you get in yours when you started? Ryan didn't give me a basket, or Ryan gave me some soap. Oh, Ryan gave me some chocolates, and then I got a bunch of soaps.
I mean, I'm trying to fit what you need.
I guess
feel like
depends
you need.
Scotty does need fattening up, so the chocolates.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Scotty.
It
needs.
depends on how you give it to him, what setting it's in. If it's like in front of all your coworkers, and he's gonna be like, well, "What the fuck?"
Well, how about if I did this? How about if I did it anonymously?
Anonymously.
I can't say that word.
I'm the only one that can't speak.
Anonymously. There you go. How about if I gave it to him that way or her that way? You just set it on him or her's desk before they came in.
You just let the bar of Irish Spring on the desk there.
Yeah, Irish Spring, whatever. Dial, Old Spice.
I don't know. I still feel like they. I don't know. They might think
Any
you're
of these-
like making fun of them.
Hey, man. I mean, like,
Look, so at a previous job, not the one I'm at now, but a previous job,
You have a job?
we did like a Secret Santa thing, and there was this one person there, and their teeth were kind of messed up, and the person that drew their name said they were gonna get them toothpaste.
Come on, man.
I said, please do not do that.
See, that's embarrassing.
I said, because I'm going to be there and I'm going to lose my shit and I'm going to lose my shit and I'm going to feel really bad because, you'll have everybody looking at you.
That's bad.
So I was like, please don't do it. And they didn't do that. So
what kind of toothpaste were you thinking about? Like some whitening?
I don't know. I didn't let it get that far. Okay. I was like,
oh, that's a good point too, Ryan. Because if you're gonna do it, you gotta go get like Crest or Colgate or something like
actually,
that.
come to think of it, I think it was like some whitening strips.
Okay, well, at least it's gonna be something like that because you can't go get like what's the Walmart brand, like the Equate or something like that. You can't go out and give someone that.
Right.
If they got hobo power, you can't go give them that. Like you got to come in with the real stuff.
Right.
The
heavy duty.
I mean, that would make a difference then if you actually got like some legit, like you spent some money on this shit.
Right.
Like,
they wouldn't know. I mean, it'd be like, oh, this is nice. It's a little different, but it's it's good stuff. Maybe they would use it.
Well, you would hope that they would use it.
The reason why we're getting it for them in the first place, they're not using what they have at home. I'm assuming.
Well, maybe they did use the soap. Maybe they did like in middle school, those guys that wouldn't take a shower after gym or whatever, and they would spray the cologne on top of the gym funk. Yeah. And it was like this super stench. Yeah.
Hey, man. I'm just trying to think of creative ways to not go to HR. To me, that would be more embarrassing if you go to HR and the HR person says, well, Scotty, Leon.
Yes, stink.
Your coworkers think you stink. Do you shower? Do you have deodorant?
Yeah, I guess.
Can we help you with this?
I guess it depends on the person giving you the gift basket.
Can you imagine if it's like the hot 22-year-old intern or something like that they send? They bring that to you. You just gotta like be you're like this stinky stink bomb of a dude, and then like this 22-year-old smoke show is walking in here with like a bunch of like Dow body wash for you. That's gotta suck. They gotta give it to it has to be Ryan that drops it off, like the old man,
right?
Right.
Well, Ryan's the probably the nicest one out of our friend group.
Yeah.
Well,
probably so. I'll be more. I'll give it to them in a more cordial way, a way that wouldn't offend.
Are you gonna do the corporate shit sandwich where you give a compliment, deliver the bad news, and then end with the compliment?
Correct.
So, Scotty, let me tell you, you did a great job on that Johnson file. They really did like your work.
Oh, thanks.
But listen, you smell like shit. And so we have some deodorant here for you and some body wash.
Okay.
But also I've seen the progress that you're making on the Stackhouse file, and it's looking really good. Partner with Ted if you need anything else on that, but you can go ahead and green light that.
Yeah.
That's
how you do it.
That's the shit sandwich.
That is how you do it.
All right, am I hearing that middle part right? Like,
he doesn't hear anything after. You stink.
I'm very direct. That's why I don't manage.
As soon as you start
anymore.
bringing up the stink, like my brain's like not listening to anything else.
Well, people that apparently weren't listening to the instructions at McDonald's, McDonald's is looking at phasing out the self-service soda fountains by the year 2032. Now, this according to the State Journal Register of Illinois. By the way, this is a very respected paper. But it's behind the paywall, but thank God that the New York Post just aggregates everything. God damn it, Ryan, we can't talk.
Usually it's me.
That's a bad day.
Yeah. Maybe it's you know what? I want to go ahead and hit the. Oh, I was looking for that might be racist. Now I can't play boards either. We didn't get the education that Scotty got. It was separate, but it wasn't equal.
Yeah, let's not get it.
Yeah.
I did not get
not do this.
That education you thought I had.
That's true. You did go to school with our suspended friend, and he can't read nor write. So that's very true. All right. So McDonald's, they're looking to phase these out by 2032. According to the franchisees, one of the biggest things is hygiene. You know, some people are going back up with that cup that they've drank out of. You put it back under there a bunch of times. But then also theft. I mean, like everything else in America, theft is huge right now. We see all the videos of people going into Kohl's and stealing 18 hoodies and running out of there and stuff. People are going to McDonald's. Some people are just walking in off the street. Maybe they had a cup from 3 days ago. Put it in there and get Minnesota. Or the old the old Chris Green special where you walk in with the water cup and put it under there and get some,
Hey, man,
Coke.
I've done that.
I've done that
Yeah,
too.
when I was a kid.
Really?
A teenager. All of my friends did it.
Both of
I
you
couldn't.
have stolen
if you
Coke.
took every person I grew up with,
Yeah.
they've done it at least one time.
You all, you two, you've stolen Coke.
Not cocaine, but Coca-Cola, yes.
You all.
Hey man, we were all poor kids that just wanted something to drink.
I was a poor kid when I went to the McDonald's and I went there. I gladly paid for mine. I've gone with family.
But there was probably like 2 people at the McDonald's, so you can't be inconspicuous.
Well, I've gone with family, and they, when I was a kid, and they're like, "Oh, it's actually a water cup," and I'm like, "I will not." I will pay for mine. I've actually reached in when I've been with like cousins and stuff like that. I've like reached into my pocket and like got whatever little pocket change I've had and paid for my own soda because I'm not going to do that. I'm a man of principle. But what kind of creatures are you people that are stealing Coke?
Well, that McDonald's on Staples Mill and I think it's Bethlehem Road.
Mine was a Hopkins Road.
I've stolen many, probably hundreds of dollars of Coke from you. I mean, in the one on Broad Street here in the Broad and Glenside, I've got that one too plenty of times. So I know the statute of limitations is up on that, right?
Yours is pre-segregation, as I said last week, which one of our viewers pointed out. He goes, pre-segregation? No, pre-integration is what I should have said.
That's the word.
Better.
Yeah.
Once I started working, like in my teenage years, I stopped doing that. But I mean, hey.
I did not stop after I started working.
Oh my God.
I just stopped like in the last 5 years or so, probably.
Remind me not to go to McDonald's when you did that. But between the Mick multitasking and the Coke theft.
Hey, man.
Wow.
I mean, come on. How much is a soda?
That's what I'm saying. How much is that soda to McDonald's?
But
that was me too. Like, I'm not hurting McDonald's by putting some soda in a water. It's not like I went up there like 10 times, once or twice.
You're hurting the local franchisee though. See, most of those aren't corporate. Most of those aren't corporate owned. Most of those are owned by a local franchisee, and it's the office space scheme again. There's fractions of a percent, and we round them up, and then it ends up being $300 and some thousand or whatever.
Then get rid of free refills.
Well, that's the thing. They're going to keep the free refills, but you're going to have to go up, kind of like Chick-fil-A. You go back up and, hey, can I get another lemonade? And a nice teenage, boy that's in the choir.
What?
Why
did that come to mind?
Right.
Because Chick-fil-A, when I think someone that works at Chick-fil-A, they're either your 78-year-old aunt that's retired, or they're like a 16-year-old boy or a 16-year-old girl, and they're like a well-rounded all-American kid, and they're pouring your drink, and they're smiling. They're very happy people.
Speaking of which, I've been there 3 times to get the new honey pimento chicken sandwich in the last 7 days, probably.
I assume it's good?
I like it. I don't know if it's for everybody. If you like pimento cheese, I'm sure you'll like it.
If you don't like
it's seasonal. I gotta keep going until it runs out.
So you're addicted right now.
Are
you
almost.
Are you mainlining it?
What do you mean by that?
Scotty's lived a sheltered life.
What does that mean?
So
in reference to this, I don't know.
It's a drug term.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Are you injecting it into your veins?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It is good. It is good.
All right. Well, so I can't believe you people are stealing sodas.
What do you mean, you people?
You
right?
People, I'm going to look down upon you, soda thieves.
I need you to hit that button.
I'm not on the right page.
Damn
give me a second. There we go.
That might be racist.
Yes.
How is that racist? I got one black guy, one white guy. You're both, as I point to the wrong one.
We grew up different.
You just can't use that phrase, you people.
You people.
Yeah.
That's just a bad phrase in any line of anything. You can't use it at work.
No matter where you're at.
Use it. Yeah.
If you hear that, you're like, whoa.
Woo.
At work, when you go up to that crowd of people that stink, you people stink. And y'all have been stealing from the McDonald's drink machine, and that's why it's going away.
I'm telling you, man. Can't use that term, you people.
Yeah. Do you think it's worse? I mean, McDonald's doesn't have the what is it? The thing the Firehouse does and Burger King does.
Yeah, what is it called? Where you have
Coke Freestyle.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worse at McDonald's because you can just quickly hit it and go?
Yeah,
or do you
sure.
think because the Firehouse and stuff you can pick? Oh, I want to steal the lemon lime Coke or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not as convenient.
Right. Yeah.
I can't believe it. Well, you all are going to be the reason why it's going bye-bye. So there we go. All right,
we had a good run.
Yeah.
Now some poor little kid's going to have to wait in line for 20 minutes behind our suspended friend getting his 15th order of chicken nuggets.
He don't need all that soda. It'll be all right.
Yeah, it's You know what? You're probably right about that.
So how about if one of those AI robots at SoFi Field walked up into like the McDonald's at SoFi Field? Would you, if you were like the manager or the owner of that, you'd be like, you people?
Yes, that's the robot.
Or
That's how we start the war.
You could hire one to guard the drink machine.
There we go. And like, when you and Ryan goes to take his water cup and go to get him a Sprite, that thing like laser shoots him with the eyes or something like that, It makes like a citizen's arrest. It like just sits on him or something, I think I just solved all of our shoplifting problems. Was the guy Mayor Adams, New York City? Give me a call. We will outfit robots all across the city. We will bring law and order. It'll be like Gotham City.
Yeah, he's one of our 11 listeners.
He's got to listen first, exactly.
Yeah. All right, and then speaking of New York, Scotty, you sent me a story. There was a New York man that died in a very weird way. He got killed by a Peloton bike.
Yeah, so apparently I didn't know we were actually doing this story.
Oh, my bad. I just kind of shifted to that one. I saw the
me,
New York transition
Let me
there.
click on it real quick. But yeah, so he bought a Peloton. I don't think he had it long, but
About 6 months after he bought it.
yeah, I don't believe this story. So it was saying he was going from being on the bike and then he would go do like floor exercise, like I guess maybe like push-ups and sit-ups and stuff, and he kept going back and forth. And he went to let's see if I can find the thing here. Yeah, so he went to get up, I guess, from doing his sit-ups or his push-ups, and he used the bike to try to get up. And somehow the bike spun around and hit his neck and his face, severing his carotid artery and killing him instantly. Now, this sounds like it might be AI to me, too. How do you just hit him perfectly and kills him instantly? I don't know.
Maybe he was behind on his Peloton class subscription. Maybe they were just eliminating the problem there.
Maybe.
I guess.
Jeff.
I'm paying his bill.
Yeah.
Jeff, you are late.
This is why I don't work out.
Yeah, I'll stay fat, thank you. No one's ever died sitting on the couch watching TV. Well,
Right, well, slowly.
Yeah. But not instantly,
Right,
okay?
exactly.
Yeah. Ryan, a Peloton is an electronic bike. I know in your day they had the unicycle, and you were up real high. And how did you ride that thing around? By the way,
Very carefully. You didn't want to like fall off and
did you wear a
hit
top
that
hat?
seat. Yeah, and I had a monocle and everything.
Ooh, he was like Mr. Peanut. That's Ryan's new name on the show. It's Mr. Peanut.
I have one of them knockoffs.
I have been called a peanut head before, but when I was a younger lad.
Is that racist?
It may be. Who knows?
George Washington Carver somewhere in there. He did some stuff with the Peanuts. We were all good. We took it back. We took it back. The Peanut.
Yeah, I have one of those knockoff bikes, but now I'm glad I don't use it. So
The wish.
I
I was
knockoff?
using
Peloton.
it. I got it from Amazon. It was like a couple $100.
What's it called? A skeleton?
No, it wasn't like a knockoff. It was just a cheap exercise bike.
Does
But
it,
now I don't feel so bad. I don't really use it.
is it the bike that where you pedal and it has a little thing that thrusts up from the seat?
The hell are you talking about?
I don't know.
Thrust up to what? I mean,
I know what he's trying to say. Yeah.
You haven't seen the
You know,
What?
what's online.
Nope, I have not.
But it has
I
like
haven't seen anything. I thought you were just joking.
no, it's a real product.
What are you watching?
I'm on.
Again, your algorithms are all fucked up.
Yeah, they're all fucked up. I use some dark places on the web to find content. I can tell you that. I
see.
No, there was like a bike and it had like a dildo attached to it. So
Oh Lord, no! I have not seen. I have not
When
seen
you
one
pedal.
of those.
when you pedal, it goes up.
See, Ryan is so wholesome. His brain was not even there the whole
Yeah,
time.
I was like, I was thinking about that, but then the description was like too much for my brain right
Well,
there.
his day they had like the stone ones and stuff like that. Like you see them like the Egyptian like pyramids and stuff. They were buried with them. They were like made out of stone. It was like when you go to a Mexican restaurant and they make the guacamole in front of you and they're just mashing it into the bowl.
I'm never going to be able to get guac again.
Right, exactly. Need a messed up guac for all 50 listeners.
I'm gonna be like, can you do what you do back there so I don't see it?
Exactly.
Oh.
Can you not bring the cart out? Can you like just do it in the kitchen?
I trust you.
Oh, and on that unfortunate note, we will put a bow on these things. Hopefully, you all can eat some guacamole after this. And then you can also eat guacamole and visit us online, Scotty.
You can find us at most of the socials. We got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm always forgetting one.
Threads
At Let's Not Do This Podcast.
X as well.
X/Twitter. It's _ Let's Not Do This. And follow and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Smash the subscribe button.
Please.
If you don't do it, our little mascot that was running around here, she doesn't get fed. Okay, we need money to feed her. So hit the subscribe button.
Or Leon will put you on that bike.